Welcome to Money 911, where we unravel the mysteries of financial success and empowerment. Today's episode is a journey into the depths of entrepreneurship and the mindset required to reach the pinnacle of success. Joining us is none other than Daniel, a renowned international speaker, coach, and author of the best-selling book, The Makings of a Millionaire Mind. With his contagious energy and unparalleled insights, Daniel has transformed countless lives, guiding them towards epic success both personally and professionally. Get ready to shatter limiting beliefs and embrace the path to financial freedom as we delve into the makings of a millionaire's mind. All right, Daniel, it's an honor to have you here, and obviously we have a lot of fun things to talk about. But what I wanted to do was ask you about your journey to becoming a top business coach and international speaker. What was the most unexpected challenge that you faced? How did you overcome it? Right, get right in there in the
That
beginning.
was that was the hardest thing I've ever done.
Uh,
I had to turn my back on my old life. People don't call that, right? When we talk about success, when we talk about where we're going, everybody has a vision of what their ideal is of success. And I've always been successful by a certain means, but when I truly became a full-blown entrepreneur over 6 years ago, I didn't realize that my new life was going to cost me so much of my old life. To, as a matter of fact, it cost me, I had to kill my old life. And what I mean by that, my environment changed, my friends changed, and I lost some even relatives along the way. But not because I thought I was better than them, Chris, but because you can't stay in the old environment and you're never going to become that butterfly if you keep hanging around with caterpillars.
right.
God had something bigger for me.
Amen. That's the truth. That's really so true. It's like you being born again in your business, being born again in your insides. And, you hear a lot of people talk about mindset and achieving success. And maybe, these moments, they're actually pivotal moments of a realization or transformation inside of your own mindset because it's a daily thing. I mean, I go through it daily. It's constant pivoting. What do you think? What maybe share a couple of those moments where you pivoted in that kind of a mindset?
Well, I think for me is I used to run multi-million dollar businesses. I really had a brick and mortar business that we had 100. I had 100 employees, and when you're running it, you're doing it. You're making millions for the owner of the business, and then you say, well, at some point maybe I need to do this for myself, and then life has a way of arranging it for you,
Right.
but not the way you expected it.
Hmm.
So for me, even though I wrote checks weekly for 10,000, 100,000, $250,000, like these are checks that I approved and wrote, but it wasn't my bank account. It was the dealership's bank account. And when I came to writing my first $500 check for myself, it wasn't as easy to do. And I really had to start seeing that, man, my capacity for my own business needs to get bigger and larger. And now I write a $500 check. I can write $1,000 check like nothing. $2,000, right? I think right now my own breaking point is probably like 5,000, but it's still easier to write than what it was 6 years ago. But $500, I had to really tell myself this isn't a cost, ladies and gentlemen. It's an investment in the future business you're building. And so many people, they see everything as a cost and they never get over that hump, and that's why their businesses fail.
Exactly. Exactly. Your book, The Makings of a Millionaire Mind, emphasizes, achieving wealth and alignment and with one's values. Can you share like specific principle from your book that has had a profound impact on your life and the life of your clients?
Yeah, well, one thing I realized, which is one of the chapters here called "You Are a Rolls Royce," and I use a Rolls Royce. Why? Because everybody can relate to the Rolls Royce, and in the book I talk about, when you see yourself as a Rolls Royce, Chris, everything changes. And
Right.
I ask people, does a Rolls Royce compare itself to a Chevrolet? Heck no. Does a Rolls Royce compare itself to a Mercedes? No, it's a Rolls Royce. So the moment you get in your thinking that I am a Rolls Royce, you realize I have no need to compare myself to anybody. And I think so many people play the comparison game and then they lose their joy and they don't have any enjoyment in their hearts and in their life. And then they self sabotage because they're looking to the left, they're looking to the right, and then they're comparing themselves to everybody around them instead of really being grateful for what they've been given by God.
That's the truth. I think social media helps, promote that, looking at others, and most people have horrible self images, so it looks like what everybody's doing, but it's a lot of it's a front. I mean, it looks, but everybody, you see, like here you are, and you see all these faces, but everybody's going through it.
Yeah.
And right, so you don't, not comparing, and then being, because everybody's got a blessing, everyone has their light to shine, so allowing yourself to be and manifest who you are. And as a person who coaches entrepreneurs and business owners, what do you think? There's a lot of misconceptions about achieving financial success that you encounter, and how do you debunk them, right?
I think when you're on your path, that what I've experienced and I've seen other a lot of my clients experience is that when you're succeeding to levels that most people never reach, and most people is 90% of Americans,
Hmm.
you do two things. You either inspire those people, Chris, or you remind them of the things that they should be doing, but they're not. And because you start reminding them more and more of what they should be doing and they're not, they start to despise a Kris Miller. They start to despise a Daniel Gomez because you're reminding them they know they should be doing it. And it's always easier to despise people and be cynical towards them than to do the work yourself. And it hurts me because before I used to take it personal, but now it hurts me because it's like they don't see the value in themselves to go after their dreams because they don't believe in themselves.
Right. And it's a combination of comparing yourself with others, not seeing value, and that in itself, that value of, that you're a gift from God, right? That's pretty valuable.
Yes, we all have a gift. We
Yeah,
all have.
right. And we lost, we're born in like darkness. People lost that reality of what's really going on. So the business is a prop that you can use to help people get the true value, because the true value isn't millions of dollars. It's the value of the blessing that you've been given, in my opinion, right?
But the
That's
thing
how I
is,
look
this is the mid. I was talking to one of my clients earlier, and we expect our businesses to grow, but this is a mistake that many business people make. They want their businesses to grow without them growing. Is
at
that
it.
again? They want their businesses to grow and flourish without themselves, the owner, growing, and it doesn't work that way.
Right,
You can't have $1 million business and be a 10-cent man. You can't have $1 million business and be a 10-cent woman. You have to, if you're going to have $1 million business, you become $1 million man or woman. And the reason I say that is you have the character of a millionaire, you have the traits of a millionaire, and you have the maturity level of a millionaire. And I can honestly tell you, as we were growing and scaling and becoming the people that we are today in 6 years, I've cried a lot, right? I mean, like I told you, I had to kill the old Daniel, right? The old life. I had to die. I had to turn my back on my old life.
right,
I didn't realize how much of my old life was not good.
right. Absolutely. And it is, even though it's business, it really is a spiritual journey, because that's what you have to let go of the old to get the new. So if you've got your cup full of the old, you can't receive it. You got to pour it out, right? You got to open up to receive the new. And
Yeah.
right. And so,
No, you're so put it this way, like there's only so much. If you have a 12-ounce cup and it has 12 ounces of junk in it, how do you expect the good to flow into it if it's filled up with junk?
right,
And you got to dump out the junk. And I want to give people that analogy because so many people, they're wondering why that new relationship ain't showing up. They're wondering why that new contract ain't showing up. because you haven't taken care and gotten rid of all that junk inside of you or around you. And people would wonder, right? No, like if there's a law called the vacuum law of prosperity. And it says the new will not show up until you make room for it. So an example of that is, right, if you have a driveway that has an old junker car on it and it's on bricks, and you've been praying for a new car, maybe your new car hasn't shown up because you haven't gotten rid of that. That's the space your new car is supposed to go, but it hasn't shown up because you still got that old broken down car and bricks in your driveway.
Right. Right. It's so true. And so, you pour out the old, and then what happens is the abundance overflows. And that's the part I really like. I like living legacy. So, I've been a legacy planner for 3 decades, and I show people how to create income they'll never outlive and never lose a dime in the stock market. But with that, I want to show people how to live their legacy. So your dedication to give back to me is really important through your nonprofit, the Mari Strong Foundation.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your foundation.
Well, in 2017, the whole reason I'm here in front of you is because my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Hmm.
And in 2017, she was, stage 3. She was young, 44 years old, and she made a decision to have a double mastectomy. And during the process, for the first season of her breast cancer journey, she fell into a little bit of depression. And I had to make a decision. Was I going to hire somebody to take care of her? Or was I going to hire her myself, take care of her myself?
Right.
And I ended up resigning to take care of her. And little did I know that, man, I needed help.
Yeah.
So in that process, when she went through her journey of healing and she had 7, 8 major surgeries,
Hmm.
now she's breast cancer free, praise God. But there was a lot of things that we needed help with that people didn't want to help right away. You had to wait 90 days, and
Yeah.
you had the Susan B. Komen, all these different.
Yeah.
But 90 days, we're gonna be like, I don't need your damn help in 90 days. I need your help today.
Really. Exactly.
So in that journey that we experienced, we wanted a foundation to where if someone calls us today and they're in dire straits, we're gonna give them $100 for groceries, no questions asked. We're gonna give them $100 for something, right? Or they need help with their chemo radiation payment, whatever it is. As long as they provide the proper documentation, it's usually within a day or two, right? It's just because I know what it's like because we were asking for help.
Yeah.
And with the Mighty Strong Foundation, we've been able to help women and people that are that right women that because men get breast cancer too that have had experience, right? They can't pay their light bill. We help them with
Right.
$500 for the light bill, whatever it may be,
Right.
just to see the hope that we can bring to them. It's been a blessing.
Amen. Beautiful.
And of course, we turn people away because, right, they don't qualify for it, or they just because it's really dedicated to women with breast cancer.
Hmm.
But I share that because it's a way of giving back to women. And I see you're wearing pink, and that's every December. We usually have a big fundraiser for our nonprofit. But the truth is this: is that you can make a difference with the Mighty Strong Foundation. It's our way of giving back to our community here in San Antonio to where it's immediate help, whether it's a light bill, a phone bill, whether it's chemotherapy payment or radiation. There's something that we can do because sometimes just that small glimpse of hope and help can change a whole person's attitude, and that could be the difference between life and death.
Absolutely, absolutely. That I think the medical system is set up to just destroy people. If you don't have, like most people don't have long-term care, and so something happens, it's all out of the pocket. Being a caregiver, oh my gosh, where I live, it's, it's tens of thousands of dollars a month. My
Yeah.
mommy had cancer for 10 years, and it was in 2010, it was $15,000 a month for
Wow.
home care. Of course, I'm in communist California, so but it's that way all over the country, seriously. And that's why people, they need to be aware of and protect themselves. But if you're prosperous and you do well, that's living your legacy. That's the give back. To me, that's my money. And then that's how I get paid, is that blessing and having it come back. I'm not going to wait till I die to do it, right? I want to do it
Well,
now.
well, that's the thing too, is we were just talking about this. Like we've been brainwashed to believe that we need to retire.
Exactly.
And what I mean by brainwashed, like ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. Half the things set up for retirement are new. America is over 200 years old, right? We're older, right? We're old, the country. And actually, we're not even older. We're young compared to other countries, but we'll just say our nation is 200 years old as a firm, fair number. 401ks have only been around for 40 years. They're new, so nobody really knows, right? Pensions have gone away, but I share this with you because they want to train you to retire, turn 61, 65, and then you ride off to the sunset. But the truth is this, when you really love what you're doing, and I love what I'm doing, I'm 50 years old, and somebody asked me today, Daniel, when are you going to retire? I said, I'm not, because I love what I do. I go look at Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar was 70 plus years old speaking and training. I go, you think about John Maxwell. John Maxwell was 70 plus years old speaking and training. Look at Kris Miller. She's still rocking the house at a young 21 years old.
Right.
But they want to train you to believe that you need to, because you know what's sad? Everybody knows Nick Saban as the greatest Alabama coach around, but there was another great coach in Alabama called Bear Bryant. And Bear Bryant won a lot of national championships. But soon as he retired, guess what happened to him? He
Mm,
died because he lost his passion,
that's
he
right.
lost his purpose.
Right.
And right, this one coach, whether you hate him or like him or not, he wasn't a great role model. But when Penn State fired Patino, he died weeks later, months later, because he was 82. He lost his reason to live.
It's so true.
So when you live for a bigger reason than a paycheck, and I
Right.
love pouring into people, helping them become speakers and authors and everything that we do in our business. It's fun when they're like this. Today, one of our clients was just like, you made this look so easy. Like another publisher made this so hard, and I didn't want to work with them. So I never plan on retiring, Chris.
Oh, no, and I'm not. My daddy, he worked till he was 91.
Yes.
Yeah, he would have kept working, but he fell and slowed down. But even when he fell, he walked around with his checkbook and his pen, all the way till he walked to his bed and he went took his last breath and went to heaven, right? But
Yeah.
it's so inspiring. I'm working retired, and I'm proud of it. And like you, I won't stop because I got millions of people to go to. And part of it is I'm telling them about those nasty 401ks. They're big tax bombs. They get people sucked into all kinds of stuff. And I got to tell you this, just as a PS, because I've counseled over 6,000 people, most people, and I'm not talking about, multi millionaires, but most people, the average people, the people that, trying to help, they end up losing most of their assets before they pass away in a nursing home, in probate, and the Great Recession. So it's really good to pay attention to creating, like you're doing, a business that gives you the inspiration to live, to give back, and to make sure your assets are protected from market loss and all those things. So the system's kind of set up counterintuitive to people, and that's
But but
why
but but even more important than that is you have to develop right. Most
I
people have a poverty consciousness. You need to
exactly
develop a prosperity consciousness. And
right.
I'm not talking about a prosperity gospel or no. I'm talking about you need to think, right? Prosperity is abundance. Prosperity is more than enough. And so many people are living paycheck to paycheck in America that they're really a paycheck or two away from being homeless.
Oh
And
man,
and and, and the thing is this, I did an exercise today. I was at a small event, and we had a person from California, one from they were from Colorado, and then another person from a different country. And I said, I guarantee you, you're gonna know the answers to these statements. I promise. I guarantee you that if you don't, I'll buy you lunch. They're like, okay, let's go. And I said this, Chris, I've never met you a day in my life, have you? This is the first time I meet you, and but I guarantee you, you're gonna know the answer. So play along with me as these people did, right? I said, money doesn't grow on.
trees
Who do you think you?
are, yeah,
The early bird gets the.
right. The program, right.
So the thing is this: how does everybody know that? Because
Program,
we've been trained as a society to think in poverty.
exactly.
And when you think in poverty, you never see the abundance that's around you, right? Everybody's looking for the opportunity in life and in business. And the truth is, it's right in front of you. You just don't see it, Chris.
That's absolutely true. That's exactly, it's been my experience that seeing that and but there is an art of getting that out and you've had a lot of your experience of, I bet you, the role of resilience, right? Of play and achieving the long-term success. And there's a resilience because it takes, you could get beat down a lot of times, but you got to be resilient, right? To keep popping back up, right?
I've been punched down over and over. Right? I think about the quote from the great Mike Tyson: "Everybody's the champion until they get hit in the face."
Right.
And when cancer came and hit my wife and me in the face, most people fall victim to that, right? They end up going negative, right? That negative.
Yeah.
We have over 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and most of them are negative.
Yeah.
And we go into that F cancer, and then no, like you don't. I love what the great Mother Teresa said one time. It stuck with me. They said, "How come you're never at these anti-war rallies?" And she says, "Because it's negative.
Mm.
I'll never support a rally that is negative." She said, "I'm never going to protest in the negative."
Yeah.
And they said, "Well, why don't you believe in our soldiers?" She goes, "You know what? Why don't y'all believe in having a positive rally and I'll show up?"
Yeah.
And it made sense because
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
when you speak negative, what's going to happen? You're going to attract more negative.
It's
And
absolutely true.
and she says, "You know what? Have a pro freedom march and I'll be there, right? Have a whatever it is, I'll support it. But if it's a negative, if it has a negative context in it, she goes, I won't be there." And so I've learned when my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer, don't go say F cancer, say no, that's the wrong way to do it. I focus on thank you God that my wife is alive. Thank you that she's breast cancer free. And I focus on the good and
Yeah.
help us to learn the lesson behind this. And
Right.
we were positive with that, and most people turn negative when it comes to that, and that they wonder why, right? They become that the word that comes to mind is, ladies and gentlemen, you're never going to be wealthy and successful if you're bitter. If you're a bitter person and if you have envy and jealousy in your heart, you're not going to become a successful person that's wealthy, because you're not going to be able to sustain it, because you're going to self implode. I know many people that they rise to a level, but going back to the comment I made earlier, they have $1 million bank account and they lose it within a year or two because they're a 10-cent man or woman.
Hmm. Well, you you're outlining your program, the makings of a millionaire mind, right? So it's a mind. It's not just thinking positive, but it's a whole protocol, right? A comprehensive approach to wealth building. So maybe just one key strategy. Give us a key strategy from that program.
So I believe in this principle, and it's a key strategy is for every dollar you make, Kris, you give $1 to a charity, a dollar, right? For every dollar you give a dime to charity, a dime to the kingdom of God. First dime always goes to God. The
Right.
second dime you pay yourself.
Mhm.
And for every dollar, when you do that consistently, it compounds. And next thing you know, the fruits of your giving come back because you're giving with a generous heart. And then now you have a nice little nest egg to fall back on in case somebody gets sick, or like my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer. If we didn't have that little nest egg at the time, I don't know what we would have done. And the good thing is we never had to use it, but it gave us peace of mind. That's what gave me the peace of mind in a sense to start my business, because it was just a safety net to say. And I don't believe in the rainy day fund, right? Something that I talk about here. I'm not a big rainy day fund guy. I think that teaching is bad. I think that it's negative, right? Because if you plan for a rainy day, what are you going to get? A rainy day. So I say, why not have a freedom fund? And when you plan for a freedom fund, one day you're going to have freedom, because money gives you freedom and money gives you options. And most people that are living paycheck to paycheck, they don't have any options, and they definitely don't have any freedom. And giving yourself that dime from every dollar you get, it gives you that freedom in the long run. So for every dollar, give a dime to charity, give a dime to God, and then give a dime to yourself.
Right. Good one. That's good. Hey, we were talking before we got this show started about some new book you're working on or something?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm excited. Coming out soon here by mid-April. We're gonna have Sales Accelerator. This is our beautiful mock-up. We have a big conference scheduled here in July 19th and 20th in San Antonio, the Sales Accelerator Boot Camp. 2-day boot camp. Because the truth is this, no business can survive without sales, because sales is revenue, sales is money, and sales is what keeps your doors open. So if you're stuck in life, if you're stuck in your business and you need more revenue, you need to come to our Sales Accelerator workshop, July 19th and 20th in San Antonio, Texas. And you need to get a copy of my book here coming in mid-April. Sales Accelerator is going to be on Amazon, and you definitely want to get your copy. And we took a really different approach in this book because, something that we don't realize that I talk about. We definitely talk about sales, but we don't rise to our level of success in our skill set and in our knowledge, Chris. We fall to the level we believe we deserve. And the truth is, most people don't believe they deserve to be successful in sales. And most people don't believe they deserve a successful business. And they wonder why over 90% of businesses are out of business in 5 years. And it's because they have the wrong perspective. And we talk about that in one of the chapters in Sales Accelerator. So it's not your typical sales book. It goes even deeper, because as we go deeper, then God can take us higher, Chris.
That's right. Got to go deeper to get deeper. Right. Exactly. That's the journey for sure. And that, words of wisdom, because it really is true. And hey, just to cap everything off here, it's sort of a thing that everybody always asks, but I know when you phase through all these different changes. I just had my birthday, and it's a review. And if you were talking to your younger self, say, or aspiring entrepreneurs who are just starting out, it's so scary, or they're, what would you suggest on their path to success?
The truth is, for me, was this model. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I guarantee you, if you truly live this model in your life and in your business, you won't fail. God first, family second, business third.
All right.
When you give the first time of every day to God and you spend time with them, whether it's 15, 20, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever he tugs at your heart to be, then you honor your wife, you honor your husband, you honor your kids. What I mean by honor your kids is tell them you love them. So many times we assume they know, and we don't tell them, give them a hug. And then your business is last. People say, Daniel, how is that possible? Because the moment I made God the CEO of my business, if you go to my LinkedIn profile right now, it says Daniel Gomez is the president of DG Enterprises, because I'm the president, because God's the CEO. And he gives me the strategies that I need. And that's how we survived COVID. That's how we've grown. So God, family, and then business. And that's the secret to success. If you truly want to be successful through any economy, because I say this, Chris, I'm not of God, I'm not of the world's economy. I'm of God's economy.
Amen. I'm right with you there, brother. Right with you. And that's the real economy, that is going to be everlasting. And what goes around comes around. When you give life, you're going to get it. So,
Yeah.
you've given a lot of light today. And again, tell everybody how to contact you and get your makings of the Millionaire Mind, and then learn about your events.
Yeah, so go to Audible right now. Go to Audible or Amazon. It's on Audible. Get
Yeah.
your copy of The Makings of a Millionaire Mind. It's a beautiful book that's going to definitely help you grow your self-image, grow how to value yourself, everything. So go to Amazon Audible right now. And then I want your audience to text the word millionaire, just the word millionaire, no exclamation point, no emoji at the end of it, but text the word millionaire to 210-942-5059, and I'm going to give them a beautiful gift, this beautiful millionaire mind affirmation. It's amazing. Our people love it when we give it out. That's 210 6, right? 210-942-5059, and you're going to get your free Millionaire Mind PDF to frame and download that. That's my gift to you. And then just follow me on social media on Instagram, Daniel Gomez Inspires. You see my name in the back, and then also on Facebook. That's our brand. I would love to connect with you and mention that you saw us here on the 911 podcast, and we'd love to connect with you. And another thing I want to do for your audience, Chris, is send me an email at daniel@danielgomezspeaker.com. And I want to give your audience a complimentary 30-minute discovery session to help them through this time. That's an email that says discovery session You saw me here with Kris at danielgomezspeaker.com, and we're going to bless your audience with a complimentary discovery session.
Yes, that's the way to really watch, Money 911, and you've come and shown a nice path of enlightenment through the business world, right? To really be able to prosper and give back all in the same stroke, right? Daniel, it's a lot of fun to have you, and we'll look forward to talking to you again.
Kris,
Appreciate
thank you so much for having me. You're so much fun. I love your energy, and for just turning 21 here a couple of days ago, you're amazing. You're making me blush.
Oh, thank you, brother. God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
And there you have it, folks. A riveting exploration into the world of entrepreneurship and the power of cultivating a millionaire mindset. We extend our deepest gratitude to Daniel for gracing us with his wisdom and inspiration. Remember, the journey to success begins with a single step and the belief that anything is possible. Be sure to check out Daniel's book, The Makings of a Millionaire's Mind, and explore his online program for further guidance on your path to greatness. Until next time, stay empowered, stay inspired, and keep chasing your dreams. This is Money 911 signing off. There's so much to learn about healthy money. I hope today's discussion brings you one step closer to securing and protecting your future. So you can get started on the right foot, go to meetwithkrismiller.com and schedule your free financial fitness strategy session. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to Money 911 so you don't miss our next episode, which includes health, wealth, and peace of mind.